it was his eyes, glowing red like fireflies in the dark. That's the first thing I noticed when we found his body lying in the dirt behind the community hall. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me start from the beginning. The youth shaman of our village, Chokudi, was a wicked man. Everybody knew it. He pretended to care about us, but we all knew he only cared about himself. If money came into the community, it disappeared into his pocket. If someone spoke out, they'd suddenly lose their farmland or get beaten up by thugs. Even the elders feared him. It started with strange things happening at night. Goats went missing. Chickens were found dead, their blood drained. At first, we thought it was thieves or wild animals, but then someone said they saw Chokudi walking through the village late at night, muttering to himself. Nobody wanted to say anything because, well, who wants to get on his bad side? Then, one day, my friend Tolu disappeared. He was one of the few people brave enough to challenge Chokudi. Tolu telling the youth he was tired of the lies, tired of the fear. We need to take back our village, he told me one evening. That was the last time I saw him, alive. They found Tolu's body 3 days later in the forest. His chest was torn open, and his heart was missing. The elders said it was a leopard, but everyone whispered that it was something else, something unnatural. Chokudi didn't even pretend to mourn. He just said,
"This is what happens to those who don't respect their leaders."
That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing strange noises outside, like whispers carried by the wind. Then, around midnight, I saw a shadow moving outside my window. It was Chokudi. He was holding something in his hand, something that looked like a small, black pot. He was chanting words. I couldn't understand, and his eyes were glowing red. The next day, I told my grandmother what I saw. She looked at me with fear in her eyes and told me to stay away from him. Chokudi is not just a man, she said. He made a pact with something dark. That's how he became chairman. I didn't believe her at first. But then more people started disappearing, always the ones who spoke out against him. And always, there were rumors of strange rituals happening at the community hall late at night. One night, a group of us decided to follow him. We waited until it was dark and then crept through the bush behind the hall. What we saw still haunts me. Chokudi was standing in the center of a circle of fire, surrounded by shadows that didn't look like people. They were taller, thinner, and their eyes glowed like his. He was chanting again, and there was something on the ground in front of him, something that looked like a human heart. That was when one of us stepped on a twig. The sound cracked through the air like a gunshot. Chokudi's head snapped toward us, and for a moment, I swear he smiled. We ran as fast as we could, but the next day, 2 of the people who were with me didn't show up for work. They were never found. It all ended a week later. The elders finally stepped in, but not because they wanted to. People were too scared to go to the market or the farm. The village was dying. They called Chokudi to a meeting, but he didn't show up. That's when we found his body behind the hall. His chest was torn open, just like Tolu's, and his heart was missing. Nobody knows what happened to him. Some say the same thing his shaman came for him. Others say one of us finally got revenge. All I know is that after he died, the strange things stopped. But sometimes, at night, I still hear whispers on the wind.